So it was like a housing community built for lesbians, and I would hang out there a lot as a kid. And yeah, my dad was always really tried to instill in me to respect women as much as possible, and yeah, and I grew up going to a lot of marches
As
and
much as
protests, and
possible.
yeah, I think my parents were
Really
very
quite
and
sound,
are
right?
progressive people, and very much tried to pass that down onto me.
What impact did that have on you when you were going through your adolescence and teenage years and puberty and, getting more and more sexually interested, sexually obsessed or whatever,
Yeah. I think it made me err on the side of respect and caution, and
Is that an error?
yeah, I think in general, it made me really not try to push myself on people, and not try to assume that anyone wanted to engage in any physical act with me out of respect. There's a line in 40-Year-Old Virgin that I would think of that I do kind of relate to, where Steve Carell's character is like, I respect women. I respect them so much I completely stay away from them. And that honestly kind of is what I was like.
Was the kind of masculinity you were taught by your family different from what you were learning from other boys who were your peers?
It's different what I was seeing, but I think luckily, like, the friendships that became my close friendships were not guys like that, for the most part. I obviously have terrible friends from time to time, but, very bad ones. But in general, when like the people, Sammy and Evan specifically, were the two people I spent the most time with. Like, we were like nerds, you know what I mean? Like, we would play video games and smoke weed and we watched movies. We were obsessed with movies. Like, it was not like a sexually charged environment to the degree that, like, that's what Superbad was all about when we started writing it, was just like how terrified we were to even, like, speak to girls, really,
But the Jonah Hill character in Superbad, one of the girls is throwing a party. They need alcohol. He volunteers to get it, even though he's underage, and enlists the Michael Cera character to help him buy it. And the premise of that is he says, you know how girls say, I was too drunk last night, I shouldn't have had sex with that guy? We could be that mistake. Like, if we just get the girls drunk enough, we could be that mistake and have sex with them. I don't think you were holding him up as exemplary, but
no, but they don't do it. I mean, the less they, I think, again, speaking to what I was saying earlier, where it's like your characters learn lessons ultimately. So, what they say, and this is something I've, again, grown more sensitive to, is like, as a writer in my head, a line like that is like, yes, that is what he thinks at the beginning of the movie, and throughout the journey of the film, he learns that is a terrible mentality, and that is not at all what he should be doing, and that he thinks that because he's terrified, and because he thinks he's not worthy of a relationship, and he thinks the only reason a woman would ever hook up with him was if it was a lapse of judgment,
Use alcohol to lower
and
their own
ultimately, when
inhibition.
confronted with a drunk woman who is ready to hook up, they don't do it, the characters, So, like, it is the kind of thing where, and again, it's something I've grown to learn, which is like, yes, if you have your like, just because as a writer I can defend a line like that in context, out of context, yeah, that's a terrible thing to hear someone say,
This is a really
and the lead character of my film is saying it, so, like, I
don't know if it's going to pick up, but that's a really pretty view of Denver. With the clouds all over it, going down Colfax.
Career is something that it's interesting because it's something that people put on comedies, honestly, that I do find they don't put on other genres. Like, they're like, John Wick murders a lot of people. I don't,